Well, hey, hey, hey. Happy Sunday. We are so glad to be here to see how everyone has survived all the holiday stuff, the New Year's Eve and beyond. And we're having a little camera issue at Michael's end. So bear with us, okay? Because he has a powerful message. It doesn't matter how blurry he gets, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hope
Actually, I'm on the
everybody had
wagon now. I'm drinking water. No
a
more booze, water.
you don't really drink much anyway,
No, I don't.
do you?
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
A double quad water, right?
Yes. Next
Yeah.
time I'll throw some olives in it and I'll pretend.
Oh, okay. Um, for those of you who don't know, I'm Tia Knapp, and my dear friend Dr.
That's
Michael
true.
Gross,
And I'm Dr. Michael Gross. Hello, everyone.
and we're here with a wonderful message to share. And I wanted to just give you a minute and let you know why we do this every Sunday. We are now just past a whole year of doing this together. Okay. We've been doing these Sunday Facebook Lives for a little over a year now, and we are thrilled to pieces to be here and do this. And Dr. Michael Gross, the gentleman over there, is the author of Spiritual Primer. Best doggone book I've ever read. Trust
And
me.
this book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul, is the most interesting, motivational, inspiring book you could ever read. And it's a wonderful, beautiful story by a wonderful woman who went into the deep forest and quicksand and came out flying like a bird, renewed and rejuvenated. This is a must read, a wonderful book. This is the Bible, How to Survive Abuse.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Michael. What a kind thing to say. Uh, but start here. Okay. For those of you, we don't script this. Okay. So our lighting, sometimes our camera, our audio, some of that stuff, we don't have anybody uh, that has the backup camera guy. We are who we are, and we are
That's
raw. We
right.
are sincere. We are real. And sometimes we're a little bit fuzzy, and sometimes we linger a little bit with the books because if it wasn't for this book and that wonderful man over there, the book he's holding would not have happened. Okay. So on
Yeah.
that note, what I'd like to do is I'm putting my book down, Michael.
All right.
Let's get right to the meat of the meat of the heart of the matter. I, I must still be lingering over the holidays. I don't know. New Year's Eve was a while ago, and I'm still having issues with this part, the speaker. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and formally introduce Michael. This is Dr. Michael Gross. He's an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. And this, I tell you right now, this little paper here is the only script I read. And that's because he deserves to have all the information I'm about to share with you so you know exactly the integrity of this man and the reputation and the education and the experiences he's had, because he is totally well versed in everything that he's about to share with us. And on that note, I'm going back to the script. Okay, guys?
All right.
So, once again, Dr. Michael Gross is an author, a professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he has been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the True Source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the True Source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has just launched his nonprofit. And I'm going to let Michael introduce his nonprofit to everybody here because it's an incredible It's an incredible opportunity for people to learn more about the things that Michael also offers the community and everybody else on the planet. So take it away, Michael.
Well, the name of the nonprofit is the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. As you know, it's a 501(c), and a little advertisement here. And we're working on getting funding and grants. And as we mentioned last week, we're working on the logo and also on the website. We hope to have it done shortly. However, since we're coming to tax season and you might want some tax write-offs, if you'd like to make a donation, feel free to, and we'll put the information on the box and below. I'll be glad to send you our EIN number, employee and identification number, 501(c), all the legal jargon that goes with it so you can have a tax deduction. I just wanted to mention that because we're looking at a multiple prong, so to speak, things that we want to accomplish on the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. And because of this woman sitting next to me, I've decided to embrace working with abused women, children, and men. And I've had the honor to appoint a director of working with abused women, children, and men. And we'll give her another title later on, but this is self-explanatory. And she's going to help us make a difference. So thank you to you. Thank you for being part of the International Institute. Thank you for being in my life. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd like to talk to you about the word stuck, being stuck, getting stuck. How often have you thought you're stuck in life? I mean, I thought about it for lots of times. You don't know whether to go backwards, forward, left, or right. We talk about, these typical fight, get it out, flight or fight or frozen. 3 F's. And think about it. I've run, I've been stuck, frozen, and I've been argumentative. And I looked at that today and thinking about what could I share with each one of you. And it's so important what I'd like to share with each one of you. When you're argumentative, it means that your button has been pushed and you're trying to defend yourself. But what do you really accomplish? Therefore, when someone goes to help you and you defend yourself and you blah, 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 and this is the reason, you don't have to do that. When someone is sharing with you and they're really genuine, and you'll know if they're genuine right away, listen to what they have to say. See if it applies to you. And instead of making up your mind, no, it won't apply, which we do sometimes, and that's the stuck or frozen, take a look at it. Give it a shot, as we say. Try it a little bit. See how it feels. It's kind of like going out and buying a pair of slacks and trying on the slacks. And sometimes you may be certain size of slacks. And we'll just say, because I'm tactful, size medium for women or men. Maybe some mediums are big, some are tight, some are just right. It's the cut and the way they're handled, where they're made from, how they're sewn, all the things that go into making clothing. But the important thing is when you try different things, it's like to see if it's cut right for you, if it's really fitting for you. Is it really going to help you? So don't predetermine any answers. Give everything a chance to help you get out of your fight or flight or stuck, if you will, frozen syndrome. Because we all experience it. So here we are in the new year, and we have all these preconceived notions. I'm going to accomplish all these things. I'm Hercules. I'm going to do all these things. And you really have great intent. A couple of weeks later, you run into a little brick wall, or you're a little tired, and you go back to being stuck. Then you get frustrated. Then you get angry. Then you get complacent. Then you want to run and hide. And a person comes over and says, how are you doing with your new project? It's going slow. Well, have you done this and that? I don't want to talk about it. Or you get insulted. Why? Because they've pushed your button. And that's okay. Because when you push my button, it motivates me. And I will say, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll try it. Thank you for explaining it to me. And then I'll mull it over and say, well, maybe I ought to try it. I don't know everything. But how do you learn? From trial and error. But here you are, the number of years of your age, whatever you are. You've had lots of life experiences. You have lots of challenges, lots of things that didn't work out, and a lot of things that did work out, and a lot of things that are still in the works. And that's very, very positive. Because there is only one movement to success, and that's forward. That's it. Now you can go backward and remain stuck in the fear and doubt of insecurity, or you can move forward to new expressions, new energies, new thoughts. So let's think about what you've done in your life that you're stuck with. And that stuck is combined with fear, doubt, insecurities, low self worth, low self esteem, low self love. Wow. Look at all those things that's combined into one. But there's no one else in charge of your life than you are. And that's most important. There are no victims unless you allow yourself to become a victim. Sometimes in life, we take on a job or a relationship and it doesn't work out. And then what you need to do is try to see if you can make it work. And if you can't, then it's time to bow out and move forward. Kind of interesting. But if we look at our lives right now, look what's happening. We're becoming robots. We're told what to do, how to do it, and so on and so forth. And if you're happy with that, go for it. But there are a few of us who are unhappy with it, and hopefully we'll grow. Unhappy means there's something better, something we become more acclimated to. And as we become more acclimated, we become more confident. As we become more confident, we become the expert in that area. Why? Because we went through the trials and tribulations and whatever it was to make this project, this thing that you're doing successful. And it's great. And put blinders on like they have horses so you can't look left and right. You can only see straight ahead. Because I want you to know, whenever you start a new project and you ask questions, you got experts in your field you didn't even know about. In fact, they don't know anything, but they want to voice their opinion. There are a few that say, well, really, I don't know. You just got to try it out. I don't know what to tell you. Most of the others, they have an opinion. It's, it's important for you to listen to their opinions because they're really expressing their fears. And that's what's really important. So as we call them, Donald Downer, Debbie Downer, whatever you want to call it. I have to be politically correct here, both male and female, or it Downer or you Downer. But all seriousness, when you have a belief of something, then don't change that belief. Because innately, you see, honestly, whether this is apple pie in the sky, you're making it up, or is it really for real? You know that. Absolutely know it. And you can kid yourself. So I always call it, well, kidding yourself. That's good. You won, but you're behind the eight ball. You always want to be in front of the eight ball. You always want to be in charge of your life. And one of the best ways is to stop and observe and listen. How many people do you know that don't listen? You say one thing, it's like they're talking something different. It's like, really? I didn't even mention that. And that's when the point you have to realize that they're stuck and that you explain a little bit more. If they don't want to get it, then give them a hug, shake a hand, whatever, and say, hey, that's really great. When you want to go into depth about this, I want to help you so much. I want to see you so successful. And that's really important because when they skip and fall, what's going to be in their mind is the last time they talk to you and what and when are they going to change. Now, you lead by example. In other words, you cannot force anybody to change. You could talk to you blue in the face. You could say there's a pot of gold that's $10 million. It's all yours. If you just walk across the street, follow this path, it's going to take you 2 days to get there. And most people say it's too hard, too arduous, and they're stuck and they won't do it. When, how, and if, and all these excuses. How do I know it's really there? Yada, 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 yada. The proof is the journey to get yourself unstuck, to achieve a masterful goal. Now, important is the masterful goal, nothing to do with money, has to do with your self worth, self love, and self esteem. The satisfaction that you got yourself from point A to point B, and you did it on your own. That gives you confidence. Confidence gives you what? Self worth, self love, and self esteem. You can do it. And that's so important for you to realize. It's all about the journey to get there, getting unstuck and not the fight or flight. It's all about the journey of moving forward. It's all about the journey of overcoming high fences. It's all about the journey of staying out of the quicksand. And it's all about the journey to realize you can do it. And I know I can see T is chomping at the bit. Go ahead, John. Go ahead. Stop chomping. Give us the message.
Well, I've heard many, many times that people say, life is not the destination, it's the journey. And that's exactly what you reminded me of, because this isn't a dress rehearsal. We don't get overs. We don't get do-overs. If we make a mistake, we learn from it and go, I shouldn't have done that, and move forward, because you can't undo what's already happened. You can't undo the words that you've spoken. You can't undo the choices you've made. All you can do is look at that and go, what did I learn from this experience? And then move forward. Because when when I was 20 years old, I didn't know when I was 20 what I know now. That was decades ago. But that's how we keep moving forward. And I think that what happens is so many people get stuck in the trap of having a job. Okay, you get a job, you have the routine, and you're going for the retirement. But now I'm not even sure if you would address a little bit of that, Michael, that so many people are changing jobs a lot more often now than they used to when I was in my 20s. Back then, in that day, my mom and dad would say, get a college degree, get a job, and then stay there, work, what is it, the 40 years, and then you have your retirement. Well, that's
Yeah.
not like that anymore. And we get complacent, stuck in those jobs, or we settle for stuff that's not exactly what we want because we're too tired to go forward. So did I
You're
get
at,
off path? Did I get
no,
off the
you're
track?
fine. You're fine. You're good. Well,
But
I talk about the 40-40-40. You work 40 hours a week for 40 years and you retire 40% of your salary if you're lucky. Whoopee. That's what Tia was referring to. And yes, when I was growing up and I worked for a company and, the friends said, oh, well, and they were adults, friends of the family. You don't do this and that. You stick with your job, you do this. And I changed jobs and then eventually became an entrepreneur. And that's because there's something within each of us that's a risk taker. Even if you change jobs, that's a risk. Even if you buy a new suit or a new dress or new shoes, that's a risk. And buying a new car, a risk, or buying a house, or buying a set of golf clubs, or buying cosmetics, or getting your hair done, or whatever. Everything is a risk, except that where do you feel comfortable taking a risk, right? That's so important. But as I was talking to a group of people, and we were talking about the manifestation protocols, and I was saying, how much energy does it take to produce a penny? Oh, piece of cake, Michael. Just want a penny. No big deal. Like, all right. And then how about $1 million? Oh, that's really tough. That's really hard. Really? What's the difference? Well, $1 million versus a penny. What's the difference? And I keep asking it. Then he realized it's up here. The thought of penny's easy. $1 million is hard. So what do? They're stuck. They're stuck in a belief system that something big, whether it's a big house, a big car, a big job, a lot of money. Oh, that's really hard. But a penny's a piece of cake. See how our thinking is? It's skewed. It's skewed. You think small, you're going to be small. Think big, you're going to be really big. And you become a dreamer. Now, there's a catch 22 in becoming a dreamer when you're stuck. Because some people dream and dream and dream, but they don't take any action. Dreamers are people who create new things, who have a belief they can create it. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, rather. They believe that they can do this, and they spawn new industries. And there are others, Mark Cuban and so on. Even Jeff Bezos. Come out with Kindle. That was his whole idea. And look what it grew into Amazon. He took something really small and expanded. But how did he expand it? He had this dream, and then he chose dreamers, people who said, we can do this. Not only did they dream, but they took action. So, along with change, along with becoming unstuck as dream, and then take action to your dreams. And maybe your dreams will take a left-hand turn, a right-hand turn, or take a circuitous route. Doesn't make a difference as long as you end up at the right place. Now, if you ask Jeff Bezos and you ask him, did you ever think they would become an Amazon? No, I just wanted to do a Kindle book. That's all. And then it began to expand automatically. Or Microsoft, he just wanted to come up with the software. And he was the lucky one because IBM decided to make, portable computers and desktops, and they chose his software. And look what he expanded, software upon software upon software. Whether you like the guys or not, look what they did. Elon Musk had a dream of electric cars. How do I make a better battery? So not only made a better battery at first, because that was his dream, then he made transportation. So just focus on the little part of each thing, and then the rest of it will grow, exponentially grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Some people have grandiose ideas, and they're stuck on that. And they're so big, they can't achieve it. They have one little idea. There was a man called J.C. Penney. And J.C. Penney decided he was going to open up a clothing store, and he was going to be fairly priced. Now, he did another additional thing. And what he did with that little store, he donated like 90% of the profits to the church or Goodwill or some other organization. And that's what he did. He became multi-millionaires. And then Walmart, same story. He wanted to open up stores in the little areas where you can discount, people get good deals. Look how big Walmart is. Huge. And then there's Colonel Sanders. The age of 70 or 80. He wanted to have the best chicken in the world. He didn't give up his 70 or 80, whatever it was he started. Kind of late in life, I'll agree, but he became a multimillionaire. And there are other stories on and on and on and on and on. Mr. Sears and Mr. Roebuck got together and came out with Sears and Roebuck. Everybody got a Sears and Roebuck catalog. Tell you what, I remember talking to some of my older clients. They were many years ago. Oh yeah, we love the Sears Roebuck catalog. We put it in the outhouse and we used it for toilet paper. True story. And they did that. What were you going to say to you?
Well, I have a couple of things now. The Sears and Roebuck at one point was we would get Sears and Roebuck, and as kids we would tear out the pages of the things that we wanted, or we would put circles around it so that mom and dad would know what we wanted for Christmas. But the other thing I wanted to say was that you mentioned that people also have grandiose ideas, and then their ideas they seem so gargantuan that they're afraid to try.
Right.
And a friend of mine a long time ago said, how do you eat an elephant?
How do you? One piece at a time.
One bite at a time, exactly. When you have a dream that seems so massive, like imagine how those great ideas came to be when it was nothing more than an idea on a napkin at a restaurant. And then one day man's walking on the moon, or companies are being created from an idea because people didn't give up. The one thing they always tell us too in Taekwondo is, the difference between a black belt and a white belt.
Yep. The color.
The black belt is the one that never gave up. The white belt that never gave up. turns
Okay.
into a black belt. There was a story on that one just recently, and it's true. The only difference is that the person wearing the white belt kept on moving forward, one step at a time, one bite at a time, you could say, and became a black belt.
There you go. There's a famous story I read many years ago, and I can't remember the person. It's about 20 years ago, 25. And he was working for a church as a janitor. And he had 4 kids or 5 children. Let's say 5. I don't remember. We'll say 5. Needed the job. And so the church decided that everybody had to have a minimum of a high school degree. And he never graduated high school. So unfortunately, they had to let him go. And they gave him month's salary and they let him go. And he began to drink. He got very depressed. Didn't know what he was going to do with his life. He's got 5 children. Wife couldn't work. And all of a sudden, he went into the grocery store and he wanted a pack of cigarettes because he smoked. Remember, this been years ago. And they didn't have his brand. And he went to 2 others. And he said, well, how many other stores don't have that? So what he did was he got a little space, took what money he had left, and it turned it into cigarettes and cigars and, lighters and little accessories, very small. And what happened is he had one, took off, did really well. He opened a second, a third. Finally, he had a huge chain of over 100 stores. And his friend said to him, wow, you're really successful. He said, yeah, I'm blessed. He said, but you never graduated high school. He said, yeah. Just what would happen if you graduated high school? Where would you be? He said, I'd still be the janitor of the church. So necessity is the mother of invention. And when we have these challenges in life, it's like, woo, that's when we dream. That's when we become unstuck. And that's when we become creative. This woman sitting next to me went through lots of trials and tribulations. And when I met her, she was writing a book about her mom and dad. She told me her story and asked me to help coach her. I said, okay. She said, you got to write a book about your story, about your life. And I was kind of persistent. And I had to duck a few times, got Taekwondo, I got to watch for those kicks. And finally, just kidding. And finally, she came out with this magnificent book, a story that's inspiring because she was willing to let go. She was willing to become unstuck and to share her story to inspire others. You never know what's going to happen when you take that leap of faith. So becoming unstuck is called a leap of faith, is to let things unfold automatically before you without any preconceived notions. The end, oh, I'm going to have a great book. Perfect. How it's going to happen? Don't know. I'm just going to write a story. You write a story, you meet people, boy, that's inspiring. They want you to talk about it, and so on and so forth. And then everything begins to expand and expand and expand and expand. I got a small screen here and expand. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. See, her dream was to write a book to help women, period. Didn't know how big it would be. And she still doesn't know to this day, other than she'll know that it will help women. When I wrote my book, I wanted to change the definition of spirituality and them understand that they can create their own life. Whatever you are doing in your life, realizing if you're not moving forward, you're stuck. And where does stuck come from? Fear. Where does fear come from? Judgment. Where does judgment come from? Uncertainty. Where does uncertainty come from? Insecurity. What is the basis of that? Non belief. Low self worth, low self love, and low self esteem. Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Mark Cuban, Bill Gates, and others didn't believe in what they were doing. Maybe someone else would have come up with the things that we're having right now. but maybe we wouldn't. Thomas Alva Edison, he believed in, what did he believe in? Electricity, phones, telegraph, all kinds of different things. And he achieved it. That's what's so important for us to remember. You know, George Westinghouse started by inventing air brakes for the train, and it became a huge company, almost like GE. See what happens? You never know the end result. Just focus on the one dream you have to become unstuck and let it expand because it has a life of their own. How much time do we have?
We've actually run out of time.
Oh, wow. Well, I want to thank you so much for letting me get on my soapbox and share these things. But I want you to know, I really believe that you're going to accomplish many, many things. And I really believe in all of you because you are unlimited. And you know, that's my motto. You are unlimited. So what you think, you create. What you create, you experience. Good to you.
We're going to do one more thing, okay?
Yep.
Because you have a Tuesday night call in and we have phone numbers to share. And I'll also put everything that we give you on this in this message down in the comments as well so that you have access to it even after this presentation is over. You can invite your friends to our Facebook pages, and you can also watch these recordings when they're on Facebook after, because we never take anything down. So on that note, Michael, do you want to talk about your Tuesday night call-in real quick?
Absolutely. Every Tuesday night, we have what I call a call-in. And you ask a question. And it's from 6:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And what occurs is you ask any questions on spirituality, and I attempt to answer them. And then I give a 10-minute message, and we have like 205, 207 messages. And I encourage all of you to kind of listen. We'll all grow and learn from each other and listen to the messages. We're going to give you lots of information about that. So on the call-in on Tuesday evenings, the number you dial into is?
It's 202. We have feedback. I'm sorry. 202-926-1059. And the access code?
125-446 pound.
One more time, that number is 202-926-1059. Access code.
Code is 125-446 pound.
You do that so well. And the recordings, huh?
Well, can we wait a moment on that, please?
Sure.
And on the second Saturday of every month, we have the Mass Consciousness Healing, which goes from 9:55 a.m. to 11:01 a.m. And what we do is we do a meditation to send healing to Mother Earth, to all the souls, everything that exists, the animal, mineral, and vegetable kingdom. So important. The reason I'm going a little out of order is because I want all of you to know that you're very important, you make a difference. And the telephone number is the same as the call-in number, which is
202-926-1059. And the access code, Michael?
Is 125-446 pound. So we're having fun, everyone.
You want it one more time?
No, I think they got it.
Okay. Now can I give the recording?
Absolutely. Thank you for your patience.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, in case nobody knows, you want to tell them our history?
Absolutely. Everybody wants to know, or not everybody, why there's such great synergy between TU and I. Well, I thought I'd share this. We discovered in a past life we were fraternal twins, brothers and sisters. And so, just like an antsy sister, she kicked me out of the womb first to see how the water was. see if I didn't come back, maybe she would follow. So she did that to me. And of course, my comeback is she had a vision a couple of weeks ago of that past life and who our mother was. And she said, you know, our mother was a loving, beautiful, beautiful woman. I said, you're right. She was beautiful. I look just like her. So that's my way of getting even to everybody.
But for me, I wanted an older brother. I really wanted an older brother. So even though he was only born a few seconds before me, I kicked him out on purpose because that way I knew that I would always have somebody to watch my back and look after me. And I think it's the coolest thing that we bumped into each other again in this life.
Absolutely.
So on that note, we need to get back on track, but we do kind of look alike, don't you think?
Absolutely. I have blonde hair, notice. Yeah.
I have a nose. You have a mouth.
Yes. We have eyes, feet, we got ears. So we're
Yeah.
good.
Okay. On that note, let me go ahead and give the number for the recordings. These are about 10, maybe 12-minute recordings, you know, and there might be a rare 15-minute one, but probably not. But the number that you want, and what's beautiful is these are always there, 24 hours, 7 days a week, anytime you want a little dose of Michael Gross. I got Dr. Michael Gross's dose. Okay. The number there, okay, I'm getting off path here. Okay, the number there is 434-300-4170. And the access code, Michael?
Is 125446 pound.
He practices in front of the mirror, I bet you.
Absolutely.
Okay, one more time. That number is 434-300-4170. And the access code
is 125446 pound.
On that note,
we accentuate everything, but we have fun. And if you're not having fun, laugh with us.
Yeah, you know, it's a great stress reliever when you start laughing about silly things. You know, it doesn't need to be anything, but you know, bone. You'll remember that every time you hit the hashtag. Every time you hit the hashtag on your phone or your computer, you're going to remember us. Trust me.
Absolutely.
Okay. On that note, Michael, one more time, let's go ahead. And I want to thank everyone for joining. We look forward to your comments. If you have any idea for topics that you would like to have Michael talk about, put them in the comments below. And we'll make sure that we get them on the schedule. Because this is also, you know, something we want to reach out and find out how we can help everybody else. So on that note, one more time, guys, Dr. Michael Gross, his book is A Spiritual Primer. I highly recommend it.
And
because it will change your life.
Healing the Holes in Your Soul. Beautiful, wonderful book. And it's very empowering.
They kind of go together, don't you?
Yep, we go together.
Okay, on that note, thank you again so much, everyone, for popping in, and invite your friends on a Sunday afternoon, 2:00, because it's cold. It's January. It's still kind of cold outside. So pop on over here and warm the heart a little bit, because we love having you.
We do, and we appreciate your input and giving up your valuable time to listen to us. And you know, I have two mottos. If you don't know where you're going, you cannot get lost. The other one is, you are unlimited. Everyone have a great week. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.